Yo, what up, what up? It's your boy C's from theCeesoflife.com, and today I want to shoot a message, not a message, but more of a video to help my coaches out, like the coaches that just graduated from the academy and going out to get their clients or got their first client, and their client come to them with these ambitious goals, and they're like, okay, how am I going to structure a program to cater to this client's goal, right? And I'm going to go more in depth on this topic. I just got one coach in particular that I'm mentoring right now, and she reached out to me, so I figured that, hey, why not share with you exactly what I shared with her, right? So here are the basics of program design for your client, all right? So first, determine how many days that your client can train. Hold on. A little distracted here on the screen. First, determine how many days your client can train, right? My recipe, right, for a client, who just got on board, it's anywhere from 2 to 3 days a week, and stay committed to that for the next 3 months. Okay, so when onboarding a client, try to get them to commit to the first 3 months, because that's when you're going to get the most bang for your buck, is those newbie gains, right? Your first 3 months is going to be where the training program is going to be rather basic. So both you, the coach, and the athlete are both in a stage of learning. You're going to learn how the athlete moves and certain things that the athlete can attain, and you're going to be able to see the progress of that athlete a lot more faster. And at the same time, you're going to be able to see how the athlete move and course correct. And in that period, you're going to be learning a ton of what works in that program and what doesn't. Now, that's like really good in theory. So how do you implement that into a training program? So when I am looking at a new client, let's just take a client that's going for fat loss, right? I want them to be moving a lot, but I want them to stick to the basic movement patterns, which is your squat, your lunge, your hinge, your push, and your pulls, right? And that goes for the upper body, and then your core correctives, and also your cardio, right? So how does that fit into a training program? So first, I would like to get the client moving, just to get the heart rate up and start greasing the wheels, right? So I would start them on an elliptical, a bike, or treadmill for 8 to 10 minutes, just to get the heart rate up and getting them sweating a little bit. Then I will take them over into a isolated area, get them loosened up, get their start doing some static and dynamic stretching, then some dynamic movement. So you're gonna start off getting their heart rate up, getting them sweating a little bit, get them joints nice and loose, get blood flow through the joints and through the muscles first, then static stretch, then dynamic movement. All right, from there, I'm going to do an explosive movement, getting them moving fast and engaging their fast twitch muscle fibers. All right, from that point, so it's either like a box jumps or regular body weight jump squats or jumping split squats, depending on the clients, right? Like if they're like have any impending injuries, you might want to just stick to some sort of jumping jacks or something simple like that. It doesn't have to get super complicated. From the explosive movement pattern, that's when their muscle, and then the explosive movement pattern triggers a full body engagement, right? So the full body is moving very explosively. So that's another form of activation. From that explosive movement pattern, I'm going to take them into the strength phase, right? And this is more so the meat, the protein of the exercise. And that's usually your squat, your deadlift or your bench press. And this movement is just going to be the apex of the training, of that training session. So I put that at the top and do some sort of corrective exercise or some assistant work to help with that exercise. So if I'm going to do the squat pattern, right, I'm going to put them in like some ankle mobilities or some hip flexor adductor stretch just to assist with the squat pattern. From there, that's considered the A group, right? So your A1 and your A2. Then you go into your B group. That's usually the assistant work, right? So not as important as the squat, but they help strengthen and stabilize certain muscles that will assist with the squat. So if you work in the anterior chain, which is what the squat does, then you'll want to work on some posterior sort of a exercise just to get that full body workout. From there, that's your B group. So that would be like a RDL, a cable row, etc., etc. Now your C group is more like your stabilizing groups, right? So that would be like your your external rotation of your shoulders. That would be your plank holds, your lateral plank, your paddle off presses and stuff like that. And then from there you can go to your D group, which is more of your show muscles, right? You want to get that extra pump, your tricep extensions, your hammer curls, etc., etc. From the D group, then you can end with some sort of a metabolic conditioning circuit or go for a sprint. And they call this group the energy system development. This is where you're developing your cardio, your energy system development, so that you can have a higher, longer work capacity. I'm just totally just going off the fly right now, so I would have like some supporting video or some supporting sort of chart, whatever, just to go with it. But if you are a coach, right, because this video is for my new coaches, you'll understand the terminology or whatnot. But during the next couple of videos or during other videos, I will further go in depth and show you live with an athlete or myself as the athlete on how this program just all blends together. And yeah, you would want to do that twice a week or 3 times a week, and put the apex exercises, your squat, your bench, your deadlifts. Some people, if they're into powerlifting or getting stronger, they'll also throw in the overhead press. But it depends on the client's or the athlete's shoulder mobility, etc., etc. And then that just goes into a whole nother dimension of corrective exercises. So yeah, I'm making this video is a little bit too long anyway. Yeah, just off the cuff, I just figured I'd just throw this video out there and just open up the dialogue in case anybody want to go down this program design rabbit hole with me. We can continue to blend ideas, and if you have any further questions, let me know and I can expand on the static stretching versus dynamic stretching, the explosive movement patterns versus the strength sections, the different groupings of in a specific session, what it will look like, and how you can fit all of that within the hour. All right, so if you have any further questions, let me know. I'm here to help, you know what I'm saying? My goal is to be the most helpful coach in the world, and you know, I'll do that by collaborating and giving you and sharing with you my biggest, you know, or I wouldn't say biggest, but I would our biggest trade secrets that I can possibly think of right on the spot. Anyways, one of those days, man. Don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, holla at me.